Okay. Hey everybody, welcome to Tribute Tuesday. We're going to talk about community updates around our token, and then talk about updates on Tribute, and then go into some problems that we're trying to tackle around directed interest payments. So the first thing up is our token just opened a grant on Gitcoin, and they've already raised $1,300, which is pretty sweet. And right now I think the matching is set to match a lot of small donations. So if you're interested in supporting the project, go check it out on Gitcoin. Would really appreciate some funding. Right now, the funding has been going towards the smart contract audit, and there is going to be a lot more work to do after that. So thanks for contributing. The next thing is we have submitted or are about to submit an application for the graph hackathon, right? So we made a subgraph, and you can check that out on the graphs explorer. And there's not a lot there right now, but hopefully we should have a front end built before the deadline, and we can submit something to that as well. Then that's pretty much it for the update. So I'll hand it over to Victor.
Yeah, thanks, Pat. So I just wanted to kind of go over where we're at as far as building out the next version of the demo. We're still sort of using our discourse on tributeforum.io to kind of hash out some of these issues, talk about some of the ways we can design it for features, and kind of thinking about what the future capabilities are going to be, especially when we're talking about multiple tokens that can be used, not just DAI. So we're also just working up some real simple UI interfaces, a little slicker than what we had before. So I'll go through a couple of these with you. So this is kind of going to be one of these widget buttons that a person can put on their website. If they're a content producer, if they're just an individual, you can have this on there, and that's essentially going to sort of trigger your ability to enter into the Tribute system and receive tribute from users that want to give you some. So you'll have to have set that up and given some information back to the Tribute system to identify what your Ethereum address is, and to the extent that you want to be kind of registered to be able to receive Tribute, we think that probably you'll want to have some interaction with the rDAI contract, just so you don't have a lot of people sending Tribute to addresses that aren't ready to receive it, or the opposite of that as well, which is bad. So once you hit that button, you kind of get something like this. This is sort of a mock-up of what it might look like if we were going to have it on the one-click DApp website that Pat has, which is a great tool, which we will continue to plug. And so you'll be supporting an open source project. It would pop up and it might pre-populate with 3 different Tribute amounts, or you can enter a custom amount there. When you hit send Tribute, that would obviously generate the Tribute flow to one-click DApp there. So that'd be kind of the perspective of the user interacting with and sending Tribute somewhere. And then if they wanted to interact with their dashboard and kind of see how everything was flowing, there's a couple of different screens we've got here. So a quick little walk about your principles. And we've got kind of 4 tabs initially. We've got a wallet view, a sending view, a receiving view, and a settings. We've got wireframes for these first 3 here to walk through. Tribute wallet, this is pretty straightforward. It shows you what do you got in the underlying asset here, how much DAI, and then how much have you enabled. So this is actually a process where you have to kind of convert DAI into rDAI, and that's where you do it here. So if you just had plain old DAI in your wallet, this would show 0%, and you wouldn't have any of it being Tribute enabled. And then when you hit generate Tribute, we'll build a little widget for you to say how much you want to turn into Tribute enabled DAI. And then once that's in there, you can also disable it. You can turn that Tribute back into Tribute enabled DAI back into regular DAI if you wanted to use it to send it to somebody or pay for things than just straight up DAI. And then this is going to populate once you have Tribute enabled DAI. It's going to show you what it's invested in right now, because rDAI is only invested in Compound, and that's the rough, when I just looked at it earlier today, percentage. That would be obviously a live pull from the API for Compound. But this is kind of where you manage getting stuff into the Tribute system. And then we'll have a couple of different links to integrate with partners to kind of do the fiat on-ramp here. So Coinbase, Kyber Network, Wire, those are three possibilities here that we could be working with to kind of help people get DAI in the first place, if they haven't gone on, maybe we'll eventually think about an integrated system there as well. But this is your sort of initial view of what you've got, what you can do with it to sort of move into the system. And then, so moving on to the next one. So this is the sending screen. This is sort of looking at it now. And this is, to symbolize the flow of tribute out. You've got a 50 DAI tribute going to this particular address, and it's generating that current APR, and it's been flowing since about that much, and since about a week ago. And so about 7 cents have flowed to that particular recipient off of 50 DAI. And so you can end this from this. Obviously, you can get details for more insight into exactly what's going on with this particular tribute. We're going to build a new sort of pop-up widget for that. And then you have your inactive tributes. These are just kind of a reference back to things you might have interacted with in the past, kind of a record of things. And then down here, we kind of want to build something that's going to be a little bit more robust than this. But the basic idea is, in order to have people find the kinds of things that they might want to donate or send tribute to, we want to have kind of a discovery module here. So these would just be a couple of different categories, and when you click them, in theory, you'd be able to access a list of things that might fit your interest to send tribute to. And then here you have this list of how much tribute you got available here to send. So this is your sending mockup. This is the receiving mockup. So obviously people can be both senders and receivers of tribute. And the way that we conceived this is actually here. The first thing you're going to see is this self tribute part of the page, and that's going to show you sort of what is being compounded back for you. So as you saw in the last one, we've got 50 DAI that's being tributed and a 500 DAI principal. And so there's 450 that's actually being used to generate like compound CDAI interest for you. And then, so this is showing a couple of like active inflows that are kind of, dummy data for now, but they show 3 different senders that are sending tribute to this particular address, and that it's giving you some information about what the asset is, how much it is, what the current APR is, how long it's been flowing, and then the total amount that's been received from those tributes. And then here is kind of an interesting number. So this is the current tribute accrued. And this is kind of a number that comes from a couple of places. It's this amount plus whatever it's been generated by self-tribute, and then what has not yet been redeemed. So this is a little bit of an issue about how to, we'll talk about this in a second, about how to design this in a way that's helpful for the user. But the idea is that this generates in kind of a side pot of interest payable of is the actual way that you can query it in the rDAI contract. And then you need to actually call a function to redeem that back into your principal. So once you would redeem the accrued tribute, your principal would go up to 504.153. You'd be able to earn a little bit more compound interest because of the higher base that's coming from. So this is something that people want to do regularly. It's not something that probably we want to do every single time. There's even a cent in there because gas costs when you call that function will be enough to make it not worthwhile to do it unless you have some sort of decent DAI built up there. So we're thinking about this kind of automated redemption idea to basically have it trigger to automatically kick that back into your principal to redeem it whenever there's a certain amount, like 5 DAI, for instance. So we're thinking about ways to sort of make that process a little bit more automatic without taking away the power from the user to do it when they want. And then down here is just kind of another dummy data showing you what the past tributes that you've received are, and who sent them to you, and how long you got them, and what you received them from. So this is kind of roughly what we're looking at for the next version of the demo. We of course welcome feedback both on our Twitter or on the forumtribute.io website. But yeah, I think I kind of sort of stole a little bit of the thunder of our idea of doing our design issue of the week problem. But Pat, you want to kind of jump in and kind of tell us how you see this particular issue, to designing this feature?
Yeah, I think you pretty much covered it. I mean, when do we accrue or redeem our tribute that's owed to us, right? And if it's a small amount, can we do this every minute? Can we do it every hour, every day? And what kind of strategy do we want to have, right? Because every time we don't redeem, every day that goes by, that's less interest that we're going to be earning on that, because that could otherwise be part of our principal, right? So it's kind of like this lost cost out there. And so we have to kind of balance all those variables together to come up with a strategy that would, of course, redeem it on a schedule. And unless you're using a smart contract wallet, automating that process might be a little bit difficult. So we also have to factor in, the technical complexities and the security risk of adding a smart contract wallet, or, giving someone else the ability to perform the redeem function, and how do we incentivize them to do that, right? So that's sort of one of the additional features that we might want to build in the future is a auto redeem function tool that you might have to pay a percentage of your tribute to have it work, but it automatically is going to perform the redemption, and you're not going to lose out on that interest because you didn't go click the redeem button every week, or whatever your strategy is.
Yeah, well said. So yeah, that kind of covers what we're thinking about for this week's design issue. We'll have another one for you next week, I'm sure, as to where we're at. Tribute Tuesday number 2 in the books here. I'm Victor Rortvet.
Patrick Gallagher. Thanks for listening, guys. Sorry we didn't have anything to play with, but hopefully next time we'll have the dashboard up and running, and you can click around and check out Tribute for yourself, check out rToken for yourself. Thanks, guys.